Pip the tiny plush mouse was scurrying through Dolly the doll's miniature toy garden when he stumbled upon something small, smooth, and oval-shaped hidden under a plastic leaf. It was a toy bean. Squeak! Look what I found! Pip called out, nudging the little object. It's like a tiny, hard pebble, but it's not a pebble. Bolt the remote control car zoomed over, his headlights focusing on the find. It's not a button, and it's not a bead. What is that little thing, Pip? Sparkle the unicorn, her glittery mane catching the light, bent her horn down to examine it. It's a very interesting shape. Is it a tiny seed? Professor Paws, the wise teddy bear, who was carefully tending to a small pot where he was pretending to grow a miniature, imaginary, flower, smiled. Ah, Pip has found something quite remarkable. That, my curious friends, is a toy model of a bean. A bean? Patches the plush puppy yipped, tilting his head and sniffing the toy bean cautiously. Is a bean something you eat, Professor Paws? Indeed it is, Patches. Professor Paws explained, his voice warm. A real bean is a seed, or the pod containing seeds, of certain plants. We eat many different kinds of bean, like green beans, kidney beans, black beans, and lima beans. A bean is very good for you, full of things that help you grow strong and healthy. He continued, but a bean is also quite amazing because it's a seed. If you plant a bean in the soil, give it some water and sunshine, a tiny new plant can grow from it, and that plant will eventually produce more beans. It's like a little bit of magic hidden inside each bean. Captain Awesome the action figure, who had been practicing his super jumps, landed nearby. A magic bean? Does it grow into a giant beanstalk that reaches the clouds, like in the story? Professor Paws chuckled. Well, Captain, that's a wonderful fairy tale. While most beans don't grow quite that tall, the way a tiny bean can grow into a whole plant is pretty magical in itself. Dolly the doll, who loved gardening, was fascinated. So, if we pretended to plant this toy bean, a pretend plant could grow? Exactly, Dolly. Professor Paws affirmed. You can use your imagination. And remember, real beans are an important food. You might find them in soups, stews, salads, or even mashed up to make yummy dips. Sparkle imagined a field full of plants growing from sparkling, magical beans, with rainbow-colored pods. Bolt beeped thoughtfully. So, a bean is a seed we can eat, and it can also grow into a new plant that makes more beans? A perfect understanding, Bolt. Professor Paws praised. The humble bean is both food and future. Pip the mouse decided to plant his toy bean in a tiny thimble filled with pretend soil. The toys all promised to help water it with imaginary water droplets. They loved the idea that something so small, like a bean, could hold the promise of something much bigger. The little toy bean became a symbol of growth and potential in their playroom. They all agreed that learning about a bean was surprisingly exciting. A tiny bean holds a big story of growth and nourishment. Professor Paws said with a smile. If you enjoyed our kids' story about the magical bean, please sprout over to that subscribe button for more wonderful word adventures. And tell us in the comments, what's your favorite kind of bean to eat, or have you ever tried to grow one?